The California community colleges are required to report information on accountability, and the State Chancellor's Office has a series of 8 accountability measures called the ARC indicators. ARC is ARCC, and it stands for Accountability Reporting for the Community Colleges. The information that I'm going to be presenting today deals with numbers from 2011. Now, the 2012 numbers are coming out soon, but the 2011 numbers are the most recent ones available. And I'll be talking about how Glendale College ranks on all 8 of the ARC indicators. Now, the first ARC indicator is called Student Progress and Achievement Rate, and it tracks students for 6 years and determines whether or not they completed a degree or certificate or transferred to a 4-year university or completed enough units to transfer to a 4-year university. For the 2011 data, Glendale Community College's student progress and achievement rate was 61.8%. And that ranks us well above the average for the state and for our geographical region. So actually, that 61.8% makes us rank number 1 out of the 14 colleges in the local region, number 7 out of 23 colleges that the state put together as a peer group for GCC for this measure, and 15th out of all 109 community colleges that report information on student progress and achievement rate. So GCC is well above average for that measure. The second measure, the second ARC indicator, is the percentage of students completing at least 30 units. And this measure also, GCC is well above the state average, the peer group average, and our geographic region's average. GCC's percentage of students completing at least 30 units is 80.3%. And that number ranks us number 1 out of the 14 colleges in our geographic region, number 1 out of the 38 colleges that in the state-defined peer group, and actually number 4 out of the 109 colleges in the state reporting data for this measure. So GCC ranks very high on the percentage of students completing 30 or more units. The third ARC indicator is persistence rate, which basically just tracks first-time students from one fall semester to the next fall semester. And GCC's persistence rate for the 2011 data was 75.5%. This ranks GCC 3rd out of the 14 colleges in the local geographic region, 6th out of 24 colleges in the state-defined peer group, and 21st out of all 111 colleges reporting data for this measure, still well above the statewide average. The fourth ARC indicator is the successful course completion rate in vocational courses. So this is just the pass rate in career and technical education courses preparing students for jobs. GCC's pass rate in these kinds of courses was 77.5%. So that number ranks us 2nd out of the 14 colleges in our geographic region, 7th out of 41 colleges in the peer group defined by the state for this measure, and 31st out of 111 colleges in the state reporting data. So 31st, we're still in the top 3rd of colleges for success rate in vocational courses. The 5th ARC indicator is success rate in basic skills courses. And basic skills courses are those courses in math and English preparing students for college level and transfer level work. This indicator is the percentage of students with successful enrollments in basic skills courses. And for GCC, that number was 64.1% for the latest data available. We rank 4th out of the 14 colleges in our geographic region on this measure, 6th out of the 13 colleges in the peer group that the state defined for this measure, and 34th out of the 111 colleges that report data on this measure. So for basic skills course completion, we're still in the top 3rd of colleges, but closer to the statewide average, although we're still above the statewide average for that measure. The 6th ARC indicator is called ESL Improvement Rate. ESL is English as a Second Language, and ESL courses prepare students for other college-level work, and it's specifically for students who are learning English not as their first language. We have a large ESL program at GCC, credit and non-credit, that prepares students for other work, so this is an important measure. And for ESL Improvement Rate, track students for 3 years to see if a student taking a lower level ESL course takes a higher level ESL or English course within 3 years. For GCC, our number is 61.6% for ESL improvement rate. We rank 8th out of the 14 colleges in our geographic region on that measure, 8th out of 20 colleges in the peer group that the state defined for that measure, and 27th out of the 102 colleges that report data for ESL improvement rate. So we're still above the average, but again, we're kind of closer to the average than some of the other measures. The 7th ARC indicator is called Basic Skills Improvement Rate, and that's parallel to the ESL improvement rate. It tracks students for 3 years, but it looks at basic skills math courses and basic skills English courses to see whether students eventually pass higher level English or math courses. GCC's rate for the 2011 data was 59.4% for basic skills improvement. So we ranked 4th out of the 14 colleges in our geographic region on this measure, 3rd out of the 15 colleges in the state-defined peer group for this measure, and 43rd out of 110 colleges reporting data for the basic skills improvement rate. So again, we were above average. We're certainly in the top half of colleges in the state for this, but our numbers were a little closer to the average than for some of the other measures for basic skills improvement rate. So the last ARC indicator is called CDCP Progress and Achievement Rate. And CDCP stands for Career Development and College Preparation. And it's a subset of non-credit courses that either prepare students for college level work or prepare students for their careers. And what the CDCP Progress and Achievement Rate measures is the progress of students who take certain non-credit courses and tracks whether or not they complete degree applicable credit courses or transfer to a four-year university or complete enough units to transfer to a four-year university or complete a credit degree or certificate. So any of those completion measures is counted as a success. For GCC, our CDCP Progress and Achievement Rate was 11.2% for the latest data available, which is, like all these measures, above the state average and above the average for our region. So with that 11.2%, GCC ranks 4th out of the 9 colleges in our geographic region that report CDCP Progress and Achievement Rate, because not all colleges have these kinds of programs. And we rank 6th out of the 37 colleges in the state that report CDCP Progress and Achievement Rate. So that's a quick summary of the ARC indicators, the accountability measures that the state has defined as important for the community colleges. And it shows that GCC is highly ranked among its geographic region, among the peer colleges defined by the state, and among all of the community colleges in California in terms of these important measures. GCC's averages are above the state average for all the measures. We're also above the peer group averages and the averages for the community colleges in our region. So it basically shows that GCC is doing a very good job on all these measures that are important to the state.